As promised in the daily financial news from this morning, I wanted to make up for the April 1st technology kerfuffle that occurred on April Fool's Day. We did do a live stream, but it did not render. So we will go through it very quickly here. Let's start with what was called the Dirty 15. The Dirty 15 is 15% of countries that have high U.S. tariffs. Again, folks, April 2nd is Liberation Day. We are going to find out in, 7 or 8 hours what exactly that all means. But yes, we were talking tariffs and the Dirty 15 on April 1st. Also, Larry Fink was in the news saying that everyone he talks to is more anxious about the economy than any time in recent memory. That is an interesting thing to think about, given that we've had a pandemic, we've had the Great Recession, we've had 9/11, we've had the dot-com crash. And to think that we are more uncertain today than any time in recent memory is quite a statement. I have to think that is going to impact retail sales, that is going to impact business hiring and investing and capital purchases, and all kinds of things coming down the pipeline. We will see if the soft data turns into hard data very, very quickly. Do want to congratulate 3 people for joining school: Michael, Lucas, and Ruben. Thank you very much for joining school, making the community even stronger and better. I will be going live Sunday at 8 a.m. It is in school, just for a live Q&A. You can ask me any and all questions. I look forward to seeing you there. We did have a lot of Fed speak that we talked about. We'll go to Fed President Williams first. Long-term inflation expectations are well anchored today. Really? I don't think we're looking at the same data, at least in my opinion. Fed President Williams, we do not have stagflation right now. It'll be interesting to see what he says in 6 months, but hey, let's see what's going on. The Fed can collect more data before changing policy. Yes, they are definitely data dependent, and I think a May or June move. I think June is going to be the real interesting decision. Fed President Barkin, I am in no hurry to cut rates. I don't know. Are we actually getting to the point where more and more people are thinking 0 or 1 cuts? I think so in 2025. Fed President Barkin said, I am nervous about inflation and employment. Woo! That's not good, because that equals stagflation. Basically, what Barkin is saying, I'm afraid inflation is going to run hot and the job market's going to get worse, a la stagflation. One of the things that I wanted to talk about here is, will tariff boost create revenue of $600 billion? Remember when we heard from Howard Lutnick, Scott Bessent, that this administration is trying to do 2 things. It is trying to cut $1 trillion in fraud, waste, and abuse. It is also trying to raise $1 trillion in net new revenue. The question I have, because I've seen some proposals that estimate that tariffs could potentially raise $600 billion. That's a lot of money, no doubt. That would go a long way towards balancing the budget. But the thing that I don't think is being talked about enough, folks, is tariffs costing / raising $600 billion is going to be wildly demand destructive, at least in the short term. And demand destruction in an economy that is currently driven by consumers at 68% does not let me feel warm and fuzzy, if you know what I'm talking about. Yesterday, the 10-year note was down to under 4.15. I actually didn't check what it is right now. I think it's about that. Yesterday, we also had Hooters file for bankruptcy, thus enabling a founder-led buyout. I know there's been a lot of doomers out there talking about the rise in bankruptcies. 2 things when I think about bankruptcies. A, like Hooters, typically bankruptcy, it can be a financial engineering to make the company stronger. Think about WeWorks how they were able to break unprofitable leases and put that supply back into the market and set their company up. Hooters doing the same thing, it appears, getting rid of debt and moving forward. PVH, luxury brand, highlighted that revenue is down 4.8%. It feels like the wealthy are pulling back. These brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, etc. Mike Simonson came out with his latest update on housing. Again, Housing Wire, Altos Research. Pending home sales up 16 to 69,000 last week. That is up slightly year on year. Active listings up to 676,000. That is up 31% year on year. New listings up 68,000 or up to 68,000, up 13% year on year. These again, folks, all of these numbers are telling me it's the year of the investor. If you look at a number where pending home sales are flat, inventory is up, new listings are up, and you're not getting excited as an investor, you're missing the plot. Real estate investors need to take advantage of this market. You need to write disrespectful offers. You need to find great deals. You need to create great deals. Do not pay list price. Shoot, do not pay close to list price. Understand buyer credits. Understand what's going on. Read an interesting report over the weekend talking about what percent of mortgages in existence today are under 6%. The answer is 82%. 82% of all 30-year mortgages are under 6%. Wild. It's wild that 21%, 1 in 5. 1 in 5 of you out there have a mortgage rate under 3%. Pretty crazy. The White House says they are contemplating higher tax rates on the wealthy to pay for no tax on tips. One of the things that I think is really interesting right now is obviously there's a lot of communication around tariffs. Obviously, today is Liberation Day, as coined by President Trump. But I don't think we've done enough talk about the tax reform that could be coming later in the year. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security. Perhaps, if we're lucky, no tax on incomes under 150 grand. So a lot of stuff going on. This was a little bit abridged because, again, I'm doing a little bit of a makeup. This was supposed to be recorded on April 1st. I did do it on April 1st, but the live stream only rendered 15 seconds, so I apologize. The other thing I did yesterday is I announced a quick start program. If you do buy my course, How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, I will be doing a call at the end of the month where we can go and talk and answer any and all of your questions. It will be a very small group of folks, which will allow for us to go deep and understand your questions. If you bought the course at all in 2025, you can look for getting an invite from me. I want everybody who bought the course in 2025 to have access to this call. Then going forward, we're going to do it month by month. If you buy in May, you'll have a May call. Buy in June, there'll be a June call. I expect these calls to be very small and intimate so that we can really make sure you are moving forward. All right, folks, thank you so much. I apologize again for the technical difficulties yesterday. Nothing I could do, but we will be back live tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Later.